When you're designing custom draperies, you'll need to ask yourself some questions. Are these draperies going to open and close to cover your window and move across your drapery rod? If so, the width of your drapery will be determined by the rod width. This can also be referred to as the drapery width from bracket to bracket. You'll need to specify if you're ordering a pair of draperies or individual panels, so be sure to check out our video covering that topic if you haven't already. Find that link in the comments below. If your draperies are not functional, then they'll most likely be stationary, meaning they will be for decorative purposes only and will not move back and forth across the rod to cover your window. For stationary panels, we do not need the rod width to make your draperies. Instead, you will need to provide the number of fabric widths. Some designers specify this by the widths per panel for each drapery, or WOM, meaning widths of material used for each panel. You can see how we distinguish between stationary side panels and functional traversing panels in our price catalog. But let's go back to fabric widths for a minute. In our railroaded fabric video, you learned that most drapery fabric is 54 inches wide, with pleats formed along the top of each width. Pleating adds luxurious fullness and a unique flair to your custom drapery. Anytime fabric is gathered down for a pleat, creating fullness, the width of the finished product becomes smaller than the original width that the fabric once was. See here how wide the fabric was originally before the drapery was made with pleats along the top. Again, you can find all of this in our price catalog. For most pleat styles, we'll make 5 pleats from one width of 54-inch fabric. If you're working with a wider window, you might want wider panels so that everything will look proportional. So then you'd request maybe 1.5 widths per panel. For panels with a half width, we'll literally cut a 54-inch wide piece of fabric in half, form 2 additional pleats, and seam this together with the full width. So, to recap, provide the rod width for functional traversing draperies, and we'll make your panels to fit the rod. But if your draperies are stationary, it's up to you to provide the number of widths for your panels. Widths are pleated down, creating fullness, which makes the product finish at a smaller width than the original 54-inch wide fabric. Again, you can find more about pleated widths for stationary panels, with comparisons between 3-prong and 2-prong pleats in our price catalog and blog post. And we're happy to answer additional questions you might have about draperies and fabric widths. So you can always reach out to your CSR for assistance, or find our contact information at stevensonvestal.com to open an account with us today.